Time to transform and roll out. Another Optimus Prime video is coming your way today on Brickscale Studio. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me. So today we are doing another Optimus Prime build. And we are going to be switching gears. The last few episodes we've been focused on the arm and both arms and the hands, and today we're going to be working on the feet. So we're going to do both the left and the right foot. There's some lights involved, so let's get into the build and then we can talk about it after.
Autobots, roll out!
Here's pack 6 of our Optimus Prime build. In this episode we're going to be building the feet. Both the left foot and the right foot. So this is tray 1. There are 3 trays in this part pack. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to test our lights. So we need to bring back our battery pack that we got in the first pack. And then under this little part is a little circuit board. So take that out. I'm going to set that over here. So we want to plug in the battery box, just like so. And then we need a cord from tray number 2. So we need this cord, which is part TR622. So we are going to test both of the lighting elements. So let's plug this end into the battery, or into the circuit board here. Perfect. And then we have this end. I'm not going to unravel this whole thing because we're not going to need it till a later step, so we'll just keep it bundled up. And then here we have these 2 little light boards. So let me kill the lights really quick and we will test these out. Alright, we can see that this one is working. So I'm just going to put that one back, and then we have one over here. Grab this one. And we can see that both of those are working. Perfect. Alright, let's turn the lights back on. Alright, so now that we know that we've tested our lights, they're both working, so we're going to... Actually, I'm going to disconnect this cable. And we're going to set the battery pack aside, because once we get everything all assembled, we're going to retest it again. But we won't need this for a later step, so I'm just going to set it off to the side. So the first thing that we need is this piece. Also, I do want to mention that this pack, a lot of the parts are metal. This is metal, so this is a very heavy parts pack. And then we are going to take this part, and we have a bunch of screws in here and bolts. So we need PWM 2x6. So that is these right here. So this is going to go on just like so. Whoops. And I believe it can only go on... Yeah, it can only go on one way. There is a little different colored square here, and that goes to the top. But like I said, the way that there's a notch here, it can only go on one way. So it will look like so, and we're going to put that in with 4 of our PWM screws. All right, and that is all 4. So that is looking good. All right, so we're just going to set this aside. As is typical with this build that I have found is we sort of make little components and set them aside, make another one, set them aside, and then we bring them together at some point. Another thing I do want to mention before we get too much further, a lot of these parts are interchangeable, so it's going to be the same part for the right foot and the left foot, and some of them are going to be specific to the right or the left. So the next part that we want is one of those that's these two that we just did. It's the same part for the right foot and the left foot, but this part, we have 2 of these. One is specific to the right foot, and they do have them stamped with an L. So this one looks like we're working on the left foot for the first one because this one is stamped with an L. And then we need 1 yellow and 1 red. And then we need this piece, which is also stamped with an L. And they're also oriented on the tray. So these 2 parts came from this side, which is on my left, and then the right side is over here. So that is very cool. And then we need one of our light boards. All right, so the first thing we're doing is we're going to put the lenses in. And these will just sit in here, like so. And those are going to be held in with this little bracket. And there is a little locator on this end. I mean, it's very obvious it can only go on one way. All right, so this is like a full sandwich piece. So all of these are just getting sandwiched on there. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to screw all of the elements with these PB 2.3x6. So these parts are all plastic, and then you're also screwing into this light board. So you definitely do not want to over tighten these screws. Perfect. All right, so there we have that piece. All right, so now we're going to bring back our foot. And this is going to slide in just like so. And that is going in with the PWM 2x6 screws again. All right, so there we have this piece looking like this. All right, now we're going to set this aside and we're going to work on this other foot really quick. All right, now we need one of these. Actually, we're going to do both of them at the same time, so just get all of these out of here. So these are just going to push in just like so. Screws here, so let me get these done and we will be right back. All right, and we are not attaching them, so I'm just going to again set them to the side. So, this piece and this one, which is stamped with an L. Here we go. So find my little Allen wrench here. All right, so we are taking this piece and it is going right here like so, and it's notched out. And then we're just simply taking one of these with one of the lock washers. Alright, so there is that piece. Right, next, we need this piece here, and it is going to go right inside. So it only goes so far because there's the back here. So this is going to go in like so. And then we're going to come in again with these 3x8s and a couple of lock washers. And next we need this piece. So the instructions say to pay close attention to the orientation of this part. They are showing it. There's sort of a little, like, I don't know, like a little post right in there, and they're showing that facing us. So this is going to go on like so. And again, we are doing the two 3x8s with two lock washers. Alright. Alright, so we need one of these little vents. And then we need this piece. So this little vent piece is going to go right down here. Yeah, so again, just like in our Titanic build, we want to make sure that we are orienting things properly according to the picture. So when we attached this piece, you can see there's more of this beam. This little plate is sort of set back, and this one is flush with the end. So when we put this piece on, we had the flush end on this side and the offset one on this side. But now we need to flip it, and when we attach this piece, it's going to go on just like so. And so when we have that in there, it should look like that. Okay, so now we need to bring back our wire, and I'm gonna go ahead and straighten this out. And these are the same on both ends. So there is a hole right here. So we're gonna go down like so, and we want to go. There is sort of a little channel here, so we want to go this way. For now, anyway, this is what the instructions are telling us. So now we want this piece, and it is going like so. Alright, and it's going on like that, and it's going in with our black screws here. So we want to make sure that our wire can still, we can still pull it in and out, because we're going to be plugging it in and then pulling it. So you want to make sure that that wire is still movable. You're not pinching it anywhere. Alright, now we want this piece. So just FYI, all of these pieces, except for this black piece, are metal. This black piece is plastic. This is another metal piece. So we are going this way. And then we're going to take our remaining vents here. And those are going to go in like so. And like so. Perfect. Now we're going to take this, and there are these 4 posts here that are going to line up with these 4 holes there, like so. Again, let's make sure Yes, our wire is not being pinched. And then again, we're going to take 4 of our PM 3x8s and then 4 more lock washers. All right, that is secure. So again, we want to make sure our wire is still moving. Yes, so we're flipping this over. And again, this is the left side, so we want to make sure we have the left foot. So this is going like so. So pull out some of our cable, and we are going to plug in this cable, just like so. And that is going to go over just like that. All right, so to secure this, again, we're using 4 of our 3x8s and our lock washers. Okay, those are in there tight. Now we're going to set that aside, and we have this piece. And then we want to take this piece that we made earlier, turn this over. It's going to slide in just like so. We're going into metal, so obviously we're going to use our silver screws. And I'm going to put this one over here with the left one, and then we can go ahead and the instructions say that we can go ahead and just do the other one. All right, and we'll keep that with the right side. All right, now I'm going to bring back the left foot here. And again, pay attention to the orientation. This is going like so. And we're going to go on the back. That's going to go on just like so. And we're going in this time with 3x12, which are in this pack. So again, we need 4 of these and 4 of our lock washers. All right, and they give you a little reference here. Left foot rear view, left foot front view. So our left foot rear view is looking good, and our front view is also looking good. All right, perfect. So that is the left foot. And now we're going to set this aside, and you guessed it, we're going to be working on the right foot. Those are the feet. So let us, it says at the end here, at this point it's a good idea to recheck the electronics. So let's go ahead and do that. Bring back our little battery box and turn out the lights really quick. All right, so there is the left foot and both of the lights are on. Perfect. Now let's check the right foot. And both of the lights are on. Awesome. Okay, that's great. So that was successful. So we have the right foot, the left foot. The only other thing I will say about these is they were pretty easy to put together. Just make sure, again, that you are paying attention to the orientation in the manual. And then also be very careful with your screws. Of the Allen key screws, the 3x8s and the 3x12s, there were 0 extras. The only extras we got were, we got 1 extra of the black screw, which is the PB 2.3x6. And then we got 1 extra of the metal screw, which was the PWM 2x6. And we got 1 spare lock washer. And that is it. All of the Allen head bolts, no spares whatsoever. They give you the exact amount. So be very careful to not drop them or lose them or whatever. All right, so that is it for the scale model side. Let's move over to the LEGO side.
Autobots, roll out.
Okay, here we are on the LEGO side. So we have been working on the leg portions here. This was the piece we were working on at the end of the last episode. So we are going to be doing steps 138 through 154. Okay, so that is the end of the LEGO portion. So we finished this section of leg and have that attached. Also, just a quick note, you won't have this problem if you're working with a new set. I am working with a set that I bought it brand new and put it together and then disassembled it for this video purposes. So apparently I mixed up my bags 4 and 5, so all of my directional parts were the wrong orientation in bag 4. So in the last episode and this episode, you saw me dump out a bag of parts searching for one because I was having to fish out the right part. So you won't have that problem, but that's why you saw me fishing through those additional parts. So that's it for the LEGO portion. All right, let's recap what we have done in this episode. All right, so on the LEGO side, we completed this bottom portion of leg here. And then on the scale model side, we completed the right foot and the left foot, complete with these lights at the end, which we tested, and they are working properly. So that is the end of episode 9. Okay, so that was Optimus Prime's feet. So kind of interesting, sort of from the previous episodes where we built the arms, we started from the shoulder and worked down, and with the legs, we're starting from the feet and working up. So kind of interesting that I guess for the whole model, we're sort of doing the top and the bottom, and we're going to meet in the middle, I guess. But let's get into our summary for this episode. For the scale model, we completed 26 steps and used 44 parts. For the LEGO, we also completed 26 steps but used 95 parts. So total to date, 352 steps and 446 parts for the scale model, and 212 steps and 595 parts for the Lego. Okay, so we're sort of matching up, like I mentioned, on the Lego side, where, you know, our Titanic build, we seem to be in sync for some reason. But this one, we've been opposites. We've been working on the legs on the Lego side and the arms on the scale model side, but now we're working on the legs. But I think that's obviously going to switch here. We're almost done with the legs, and we're going to move to the arms on the Lego side. But for now, we're working in the same area. Not the same parts, but let's see. Thursday, we have another Titanic build coming up. And then Saturday, we are back to the Batmobile, finally. But it is sort of, as I mentioned in that video, if you tune in on Saturday, yes, we're back at it, but unfortunately, we waited all this time and they didn't really give us much to do. I think we used 3 parts in Saturday's video for the scale model version, but you'll have to check that out. And then, of course, Tuesday, again, we're back to Optimus Prime, where we're going to be starting to work on the legs. So we'll be building up off the foot. We're going to do the left leg first, and then we'll do the right leg. So definitely stay tuned for that. Also, be sure to check out our website, brickscalestudio.com. We have links to all the YouTube videos, plus you can sign up for our newsletter that'll be launching this fall, and there is a shop with some great new and used Lego sets. So definitely check that out. And until we see each other again, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.